Hello, I'm Neil Degrasse Tyson, and I'm here to talk about my experience playing the Batman Arkham Knight game. As an astrophysicist and science communicator, I often find myself pondering the mysteries of the universe, but sometimes I need a break from all the heavy thinking. That's where video games come in. And let me tell you, playing Arkham Knight was quite the experience. First and foremost, I have to say that the game's graphics are absolutely stunning. The attention to detail is impressive, from the intricate designs of Batman's suit to the moody, atmospheric lighting that sets the tone for each scene. It's clear that the developers put a lot of time and effort into creating a believable, immersive world for players to explore. But what really sets Arkham Knight apart from other games is the level of immersion it offers. As someone who has always been a fan of Batman, I felt like I was actually in Gotham City, taking on the role of the Dark Knight and fighting against some of his most iconic foes. The combat system is incredibly fluid and intuitive, allowing me to seamlessly transition from one enemy to the next as I took down waves of thugs and villains. Of course, no Batman game would be complete without an impressive lineup of villains, and Arkham Knight does not disappoint in that regard. From the Joker to Two-Face to Poison Ivy, the game offers a wide variety of enemies to take on, each with their own unique challenges and strategies. And of course, there's the titular Arkham Knight himself, a formidable foe who provides a real test of the player's skills and abilities. But as much as I love the game overall, I have to admit that there were a few aspects of it that I didn't enjoy quite as much. Specifically, I found the Riddler missions to be incredibly frustrating and tedious. While I appreciated the clever puzzles and challenges that the Riddler presented, I often found myself getting stuck on certain tasks and having to spend hours trying to figure out the solution. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for a good challenge, but there were times when the Riddler missions felt more like a chore than an enjoyable part of the game. It's clear that the developers put a lot of effort into these missions, but for me personally, they were the weakest part of an otherwise fantastic game. Despite my frustration with the Riddler missions, I have to say that the rest of the game more than made up for it. The story was gripping and well-paced, with plenty of unexpected twists and turns to keep me on the edge of my seat. I won't give away any spoilers, but suffice it to say that the game does an excellent job of exploring the psychology of Batman and his various foes, delving into the darker, more complex aspects of their personalities. Another aspect of the game that I particularly enjoyed was the Batmobile. While some fans have criticized the vehicle for being too prominent in the game, I thought it was a welcome addition that added a new level of excitement and variety to the gameplay. Driving the Batmobile through the streets of Gotham was an absolute thrill, and the various combat and puzzle sequences that involved the vehicle were some of my favorite parts of the game. Overall, I would highly recommend Batman Arkham Knight to anyone who is a fan of the Dark Knight or just looking for a great action-adventure game. The game offers a deep, immersive experience that will keep you engaged for hours on end, and the stunning visuals and gripping story will leave a lasting impression on you long after you finish playing. Of course, as with any game, there are bound to be a few aspects that some players won't enjoy as much as others. For me, that was the Riddler missions, which I found to be overly challenging and at times more frustrating than fun. However, that's just my personal opinion, and I know that there are plenty of players out there who relish the challenge of the Riddler's puzzles and find them to be one of the highlights of the game. In the end, whether or not you enjoy the Riddler missions is just a small part of what makes Batman Arkham Knight such an outstanding game. From the immersive world and gripping story to the intuitive combat system and thrilling Batmobile sequences, there's something for everyone in this game. So if you haven't had a chance to play it yet, I highly recommend that you give it a try. You won't be disappointed. Before I wrap up this video, I want to take a moment to pay tribute to Kevin Conroy, the voice actor who has played Batman in various animated series, films, and video games for over 30 years. Conroy's iconic voice has become synonymous with the character of Batman, and his performance in Arkham Knight was no exception. Sadly, on behalf of the Batman fan community, I want to offer our condolences to Kevin Conroy and his family. We will always be grateful for his contributions to the world of Batman and for bringing the Dark Knight to life in such a memorable way. Before I wrap up this video, I want to take a moment to pay tribute to Kevin Conroy, the voice actor who has played Batman in various animated series, films, and video games for over 30 years. Conroy's iconic voice has become synonymous with the character of Batman, and his performance in Arkham Knight was no exception. Sadly, on behalf of the Batman fan community, I want to offer our condolences to Kevin Conroy and his family. We will always be grateful for his contributions to the world of Batman and for bringing the Dark Knight to life in such a memorable way. In conclusion, Batman, Arkham Knight is a fantastic game that offers an immersive, thrilling experience for players of all ages. While the Riddler missions may be frustrating for some, they are just a small part of what makes this game so great. So if you haven't played it yet, I highly recommend that you give it a try. And who knows, you might just find yourself becoming a fan of the Dark Knight in the process.